Hope you're wavy. Hope you're wavy. Hope you're hope you're gravy. I posted a song on my channel at like 1 a.m. and it was such a nice release because I've been feeling insecure about my music, and I had a brief moment. I was genuinely contemplating just quitting and just focusing on writing books. And like in my mind, I was like, I suck at this. I should quit. And, there's some people that will agree. There's some go, yeah, quit. But I really enjoy it. It was fun making this song. I made it in like when did I? It took like less than 2 hours. It was just such a nice process, and it was genuinely fun. And I just thought to myself, like, I think I overthink things, and it's affecting the process, and it's affecting how I approach things. Even when I'm writing lyrics, sometimes I just think too hard about coming up with intricate bars and whatnot, and it ends up not being that interesting or intricate. It ends up sounding forced. I think it's always better when you just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. Not every song needs to be a lyrical masterpiece. It can just sound good, and that's enough for people. It's just about having fun and really enjoying the process. That's how you can continue into the future doing this. So I really just, going forward, I just want to have that approach of not thinking too hard when I'm making songs, and just going along with it, man. And you find that from that point onwards, like the more intricate stuff, the more complicated stuff, it just happens naturally. You're not really trying too hard to produce that. It just comes out. So that's gonna be my approach. But yeah, you should give it a listen. I was thinking about Wagyu beef, the beef from Japan. I really need to try it, man. I really need to try it. I need to go. I need to go to Japan, try all the food. All the food looks good. All the food looks so good. Let's actually do the research here. How do they make beef? I don't know. What is it? How is Wagyu beef produced? Okay, so let's read. Wagyu beef comes from specific Japanese cattle breeds, like the famous Tajima strain of Japanese black. The production process is pretty meticulous and revolves around genetics, care, and feeding to get that signature marble texture and rich flavor. Before we continue, I did hear about, someone was talking about how the reason why you don't find Wagyu in other countries is because with the Japanese, they've cultivated, it's an art, it's a process that's been cultivated over generations. And, there's a legacy behind it, and information that's passed on from one generation to the next. So it's really hard to get right, and there's a whole lot that goes into the process. It's like with farming, if you if you remove a key demographic that's responsible for farming. So if you look at South Africa, there's tension right now with the Afrikaans farmers, and some of them are saying we're going to be refugees in America. If the Afrikaans farmers leave, South Africa is cooked, guys. It's cooked because it's like they've been farming for so long. It's knowledge that is built over a lot of decades, and you can't just put anyone in that position and they'll get it right. It's like no. You need to keep those people here so they can continue doing that job, and maybe have a training system so that people can take over for them if they do choose to leave. But if you just get rid of them and there's no one to fill that vacuum, you can't just fill that vacuum with anyone. It's sacred knowledge that's been built over time, and it's a process that's been perfected. It's irreplaceable. So I think it's the same thing with Wagyu beef, where it's like you can't just replicate that anyway. You can't just wake up one morning and go, I'm gonna produce Wagyu beef, Wagyu cows. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Let's continue. First off, it starts with the cattle themselves. Wagyu are bred for their genetic predisposition to develop intense intramuscular fat. Those fine streaks of fat running through the meat. Getting hungry. In Japan, breeders keep detailed records, and only certified Wagyu cattle can be used. Outside Japan, like in the US or Australia, producers often crossbreed Wagyu with local breeds, but purebred Wagyu is still a thing too. So is it true that Wagyu is only produced in Japan? Probably not. But I'm sure there's some people out here that be producing Wagyu. Right? The calves are typically raised with their mothers for about 8 to 10 months before weaning. After that, they move to a feeding phase that can last anywhere from 18 months to over 2 years, depending on the producer. Feeding phase that can last anywhere from 18 months to over 2 years. Okay? The goal is to fatten them up slowly and steadily. Oh my god. It's so hilarious. Humans, man. Making an animal fat on purpose so we can eat them. So they can be more delicious when we eat them. No other creatures do that. Other creatures just eat, bro. It's like food. And that's that. And humans are like, we're gonna keep you in this shelter. We're gonna keep feeding. Oh, look, eat. This little cow eating, getting fat. just like rubbing your hands. Like, oh, this is gonna be good. Look at him go. Look at him. Oh, the cow just like, this is a great life. And they're feeding me out here. Not knowing that, bro, you're cooked. Or you're about to be. Oh, that's hilarious. I just find it so amusing, the many things we do. They're fed a mix of grasses, hay, and grains. Often a custom blend with stuff like rice, straw, corn, or barley. In Japan, some farmers get fancy with additives like beer or sake mash to stimulate appetite, but that's more of a boutique practice than a standard. Putting beer and sake into the mash to stimulate appetite. Beer and sake mash. And the cattle get a lot of attention. Low stress environments are key. So it's not like they're mistreating them. Low stress environments are key. Yeah, I'm thinking stressed out cow, just a stressful life. Stress. Oh, that cow probably doesn't taste too good. Probably top on when you're chewing it. Damn. It's just refusing to go down. It had a hard life. You can taste the struggle. Trying to, just refusing to can't tear the meat. Have you ever had like tough beef? Those cows were struggling. Oh, you cooked it wrong. My mom, bro, she cooks, like, like well done. My mom is like, well done, bro. She cooks it until it can't be cooked anymore. You can't cook it any more than that. Hey, mom, it's done. Stop. No, that's no blood. That has to be more like well done. Like black people in general, just like me, Africans in general, they like well done meat. All this rare, medium rare. But the thing is, a lot of the time the meat ends up tough. It depends the cut of meat. It depends what you're cooking. But I just grew up eating well done. I've never had. I think I have had like medium rare and all that sort of stuff, but not like at a place that does it well. Not at a place that does it well. So I need to experience that and see what the hype is. Because bro, niggas this side, they be cooking it. No blood. Anyway, let's continue. The cattle get a lot of attention. Low stress environments are key. Some are kept in pens with plenty of space, while others are free range for part of their lives. In places like Kobe, there's even talk of massaging. This is hilarious because they're doing all of this to eat it later. That's crazy, bro. These cows don't know that. Well, you're getting prepped. They're preparing to cook you, bro. That's funny. But they even talk of massaging the cattle to keep them relaxed and distribute fat. Distribute fat evenly. Though that's not as widespread as the myths suggest. It's more about consistent care than slaughter usually happens around 28 to 36 months, older than most conventional beef cattle, which are done closer to 18 months. This longer life lets the marbling develop fully. After that, the meat's graded. After that, the meat's graded. Japan's got a strict system from C1 to A5, with A5 being the top tier for fat content and quality. A5 Wagyu, I've heard that term A5 Wagyu. Outside Japan, grading varies by country, but Wagyu still stands out for its maru. In South Africa, I've seen people marketing Wagyu burger, whatnot. I've tried it even. It tastes like a normal ass burger. I don't think that was Wagyu, to be honest. I was like, this tastes like regular ass beef. Y'all be lying. I should actually get a refund, but I won't go through that stress. Which countries produce Wagyu? That's the next question I should ask. The results, buttery, melts in your mouth beef. I need to try this. I've never had that. It sounds such an interesting concept. I need to try this. Lord, please. I pray every day, bro, for a chance to go to Japan, just so I can try out the food, man. You know how many videos I watch? I actually watched, the reason why I'm talking about this topic, I watched a video, this guy's YouTube channel, I think it's called Paolo from Tokyo, and you're just hitting a bunch of different Wagyu spots in Tokyo, and just eating different types of Wagyu, and it looks so good. I need to go. Buttery, melt in your mouth beef that's pricey because of the time, effort, and small scale production. Japan exports only a fraction of its Wagyu, so most of what you see elsewhere is from places like Australia or the US, where they've adapted the methods to scale up a bit. Still, the core idea, genetics plus pampered cattle, stays the same. Okay, so Japan, I mean the US and Australia. So let's Google, is Wagyu from other countries just as good? Whether Wagyu from outside Japan is just as good depends on what you're after. Taste, texture, or authenticity or value. And there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Japanese Wagyu, especially the top-tier A5 stuff from regions like Kobe or Matsusaka, is often held up as the gold standard because of its insane marbling, tenderness, and that umami-rich melt-in-your-mouth quality. But Wagyu from places like the US, Australia, or even Canada can still be excellent, just different. Japanese Wagyu benefits from centuries of selective breeding, particularly with breeds like Tajima, and a tightly controlled production system. Cattle are raised longer, up to 36 months, fed specialized diets, and the process is small scale. Japan slaughters maybe 30,000 Wagyu cattle a year. 30,000? That doesn't sound like a lot considering how many people eat Wagyu. Yeah. Do they run out? Is there like a Wagyu dry season where there's no Wagyu because they run out? I don't know. It doesn't sound like a lot, 30,000. And only a tiny fraction gets exported. That scarcity, plus the meticulous care, drives the quality and the price. Think $200 plus per pound for A5. $200 per pound. Jeez Louise, man. Oh! Marbling is so intense, it's almost more fat than meat, which isn't everyone's preference, but defines the authentic Wagyu experience. I really want to try this. It sounds so interesting. Outside Japan, Wagyu, these cows are fat, man. More fat than meat. They're really fat in these cows up. I'm just thinking of them massaging them to distribute. It's hilarious. Outside Japan, Wagyu production scales up to meet bigger demand. Australia, the biggest exporter. Oh, I didn't know that. So Australia is the biggest exporter of Wagyu. Slaughters over 100,000 Wagyu annually, and the US isn't far behind. These countries often crossbreed Wagyu with breeds like Angus to boost size and efficiency. Purebred Wagyu exists, but crossbreeds like 50 to 75% Wagyu genetics dominate. Feeding varies too. Australian Wagyu might get grain for 300 to 500 days, while American Wagyu could be grass-fed longer before a grain finish. The result is still marbled and tender, but the fat's usually less extreme than A5, more like A3 or A4 on Japan's scale. Taste-wise, it's beefier and less buttery, which some people actually prefer. Quality-wise, non-Japanese Wagyu can rival mid-tier Japanese Wagyu, say A3 or A4 without question. A good Australian or American Wagyu ribeye, think brands like Snake River Farms or Darling Downs, gets you rich flavor and velvety texture for $50 to $100 per pound, way less than imported Kobe. Blind taste tests, like ones done by food writers or chefs, often show people can't consistently pick Japanese over a top foreign cuts, especially if they're not fat obsessed. A true A5, that's a unicorn. Foreign producers rarely hit that lip or marbling, partly because it's not practical at scale. Not everyone loves the intensity. I need to try all of it. I need to try A5 and A4 and A3. I need to try it all. Purists argue Japanese Wagyu is unmatched because of tradition, terroir. What is terroir? It's the first word. Every time I'm hearing this word. breeding, and genetics you can't fully replicate elsewhere. Others say places like Australia have nailed it for the price, and crossbreeding can even improve flavor balance. For chasing the ultimate Wagyu flex, Japan is still king. If you want something damn good without selling your car, the internet. Imagine selling your car for Wagyu. If you want something damn good without selling your car, the international stuff holds its own. What's better is really about your palate and all that. There's a question I wanted to ask. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask, since Japan slaughters 30,000 Wagyu cattle, do they ever run out? Do they ever run out? Japan doesn't run out of Wagyu cattle because the 30,000 slaughtered annually is a controlled, sustainable number tied to their production system. It's not like they've lost into a fixed stockpile. Wagyu farming is an ongoing cycle of breeding, raising, and slaughtering, balanced to maintain supply without flooding the market or depleting the herd. Japan's, how long have I been going? Just 20 minutes. Japan's Wagyu population is managed like a fine-tuning machine. They've got about 1.8 million head of beef cattle total as of recent ag stats. I'm guessing agriculture, with Wagyu making up a chunk of that. Exact numbers fluctuate, but think hundreds of thousands. The breeding process is meticulous. Only registered Wagyu bulls and cows, tracked by a national registry, produce purebred Wagyu calves. Each year, roughly 150,000 to 200,000 Wagyu calves are born, depending on demand and farm capacity. After 28 to 36 months of raising, that 30,000 slaughter figure comes from culling a small, deliberate fraction of the mature cattle. This isn't a free-for-all industry. Japan's Wagyu farmers, many small family-run operations, don't overproduce because the goal is quality, not quantity. Overbreeding with tank prices and strained resources like land and feed, which are limited in a country that's 70% mountainous and imports most of its grain. Plus, the government and industry groups keep a tight grip on standards and quotas to protect the Wagyu brand. Exports are tiny, only about 5,000 to 6,000 tons of beef from all cattle, not just Wagyu, leave Japan yearly a sliver of the 100,000 plus tons consumed domestically. Wagyu's even smaller slice of that export pie ensures most stays home. Running out isn't a worry because the herd's replenished faster than its calm. Okay. So even though 30,000 seems small, they've got way more just chilling in the cut, ready to be used if necessary. So the herd's replenished fast, and they're making more as well. Just think of the massaging cows constantly. Imagine someone's whole job is just to massage cows. It's every day. I'm going to massage this cow. Think of it like a vineyard pruning vines. They don't harvest every grape, just enough to keep the wine flowing. Japan's Wagyu system is built for longevity, not exhaustion. The real limiter isn't cattle numbers, it's the time and cost to raise them, which keeps supply tight and prices high. So no, they're not at risk of empty pastures anytime soon. Interesting. The more you know. So, I knew nothing about Wagyu before this, and now I know a whole bunch, and so do you, if you were paying attention. Let me actually Google which countries produce Wagyu? Wagyu besides Japan. Beyond Japan, several countries have jumped into Wagyu production, adapting the Japanese approach to their own climates, markets, and beef industries. Here's the rundown of the players. So there's Australia. So Australia is the heavyweights outside Japan. They started importing Wagyu genetics in the 1990s, and now they've got the largest Wagyu herd globally. Over 100,000 heads slaughtered annually. Interesting, I didn't know that. The United States is another major producer, though smaller in scale. Wagyu hit American shores around the same time as Australia, with early imports of purebred cattle. Today it's a mix of full-blood Wagyu and crosses with Angus or Hereford. Canada plays too, though it's quieter. They've got a growing Wagyu scene, often crossbreeding with local breeds. New Zealand dips in with a grass-fed twist. Their Wagyu herd is modest and produces like First Light. Yep, they're in both countries, emphasized. So I think First Light is what, Australia? Or what? Whatever. Or Canada. Emphasize leaner, pasture-raised beef and Wagyu model. United Kingdom. United Kingdom has a boutique Wagyu industry. Farms like Warndale Wagyu in Yorkshire raise full-blood and cross-bred cattle, often on grass with some grain finishing. South Korea produces Wagyu-style beef called Hanyu, a native breed with similar modeling traits. Walnut Wagyu by Japan's definition. It's a different lineage. It's raised with comparable care, long feeding times, premium diets, and rivals Wagyu in quality. Korea keeps most of the domestic herd. Other spots like Chile, Argentina, and even China are experimenting with Wagyu too. Chile and Argentina cross it with Angus for export, while China is building a domestic herd to cut import alliance. I think thousands of head in the next decade. Smaller players like France and Spain dabble for high-end local markets, but they're niche. Japan's still the origin story, but Australia and the US lead the charge in volume and reach. Each country tweaks the formula, crossbreed, feed, or scale to fit their vibe, so you get variety in flavor and price beyond the Japanese benchmark. So, Australia and US at the top. They produce more. They use crossbreeding for efficiency and scale. Then you got Canada, UK, South Korea, France, Spain. Who else they say? Did I get y'all? Did I get everyone? Definitely someone. New Zealand. New Zealand just gets looked over all the time. Shout out to anyone from New Zealand, man. China. Chile, Argentina. Wagyu. I've never had Wagyu. Not proper Wagyu. Apparently I've had it, but I didn't have it. And it was too cheap too. I was like, why is this so cheap? How's this Wagyu, but it's so affordable? I was like, it doesn't make sense. So I think they were just lying. I think they were just saying that to trick people into buying like the Wagyu burgers. And I got it in Uber Eats as well. I was like, yo, you're tricking me. I'm sure you can get genuine Wagyu items on Uber Eats, like if you're in the States or something, but I'm in South Africa, man. I don't think we got a thriving Wagyu market here. Someone should get the Afrikaans farmers on that. Instead of y'all trying to leave, like, get to work. Like, you need to produce Wagyu. What are you doing? Talking about refugees. Anyway, I think that was very interesting. And I'm looking forward to trying Wagyu. I wonder if you could like pay to like massage one of the cows. I'd be interested in doing that. Just having a Wagyu massage therapy session. If that's not a business model, it should be. Just get to massage. I want to see what they look like. Let's actually Google Wagyu cows. Wagyu cow. What do they look like? They look like normal cows, to be honest. Kind of disappointing. I think this is a bull. It looks kind of fat, but you know, it looks like a bull. Is it a bull? I expected like the typical cow, the white and black spots. This does not look as cute as I thought it would, to be honest with you. And then here's the meat. Look at all that fat, or marbling as they call it. Anywho, you know if you've tried it? Maybe I'll get to try it one day. You know, I like to pray at the end of my videos to Father God. I thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making me whole and unique and guiding on the path towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in their life who love them, take care of them, and bring the absolute best out of it. Thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage and sustaining that love and marriage and making me very, very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with a spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for all the wonderful things in their life. And by giving thanks, they can find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your presence be found in this person's life for the knowledge of God. Let your real, let your love, and always be there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness over this person. Everyone care about your mind and praying. She's going to pray. Amen, amen, and amen.